a career change. You're thinking teaching English as a foreign language. That's what I did. And you want to take the CELTA course. What do you need to know? Firstly, having the CELTA isn't imperative to be a teacher, but it does make you more respectable to institutions and it gives you more legitimacy as a teacher. The CELTA is the Certificate for English Language Teaching to Adults, and it's accredited by Cambridge University. Once you have it, you can teach in schools all over the world. How do you get it? By doing a course. I did my course with the Language School International House, but there's loads of other schools available. I did a month-long online course, but you could do it face-to-face, you could do it part-time, which will take about 3 months. Whether you do it online or in person will depend on what you want to do afterwards. Me, I want to teach online, so it makes more sense to do an online course. However you want to teach in person, then do an in-person course, as both media require different skills. The first thing you need to know is you have to be ready for the workload. I had my lessons from 9 AM to 4 PM UK time, and after that I was able to go to my job, I was able to go to the pub, see my girlfriend. No, none of those happened at all. No, in the evenings and on the weekends you'll be spending all your time doing your lesson prep, more on that later, and your written assignments. But you really should be prepared to put your social life on hold. You can't be working alongside it. You can't have, can't be seeing your friends. I had to tell my girlfriend I couldn't see her for a month. One of my colleagues that even was working alongside doing the CELTA. I have no idea how she managed it. It's amazing. So yeah, if you're going to do it, then commit to it. Now, how much does it cost? Well, I can't speak for all courses, but I would say be prepared to spend at least £1,500. Yes, that is a lot of money, but it does hold you accountable, because if you've just spent £1,500 doing a course, you're going to make damn sure that you pass. How do you apply? A simple Google search took me to the Cambridge website, and from there I navigated to the International House website and arranged for an interview, and they sent me just a brief interview task to complete. There are questions on how you structure your lesson. I mean, this question here is basically like a reading activity. There's questions on how you help learners with grammar, how you learners with vocabulary, and it's all based on like learning the language in context. It doesn't matter if you're not sure on all the answers, give it a go, because when the interview comes, they'll be asking you about the questions on it. And in the interview, they'll tell you there and then if you've been accepted. I wouldn't be too worried about the interview, it's very much a formality. And in the run up to the course, you'll be sent a 50 question pre-course task to complete. This might sound like a lot, but it's really just for your own benefit. You're not going to be assessed or marked on it at all. It just kind of gives you an idea of what the course would be like. So, will I actually be teaching? Yes, and that's what separates CELTA from other courses. Whereas other courses, maybe TELT courses, are all just theory, in CELTA you're teaching real breathing learners. You spend the morning learning different theories and methodologies, and in the afternoon you put this all in practice. In my case, I tutored 2 groups of learners, so a group of upper intermediate and a group of pre-intermediate. And they're from all over the world, like Chile, Colombia, China, Japan, Turkey, Iran, Sudan, Ukraine. We taught 8 lessons, 6 40-minute lessons and 2 60-minute lessons. Each of your teaching practices are graded by a qualified tutor with CELTA, and there you'll receive productive feedback on how to improve. Do I need teaching experience to do the CELTA? No. No, you don't. Of course, it could help if you do. Some of my colleagues did. But the whole idea of CELTA is to take you from a non-teacher into a teacher. And to be honest, it could be better coming at it from no experience, because if you've been teaching for years, you might have picked up some bad habits you might need to unlearn. For me, I've never taught before in my life, but that's fine. CELTA are looking for progress and not perfection. Do I need to be an expert in grammar? No, thankfully. I wouldn't say my grammatical knowledge is particularly bad, but I'm no hardcore grammarian. And of course, it's okay if you already know some grammar, but it's not essential if you don't. You learn much just while you're on the job. Do I need to be based in London? Obviously yes, for the face-to-face courses, but if you're doing it online, like I was, you could be anywhere in the world. I and two of my classmates were in the UK, but my other three were in Canada, Cyprus and Dubai. What written work do I need to complete? Well, I'm only speaking from my experience, but we had to complete 4 written assignments focusing on assessing our learners' needs, language analysis, planning a reading task and a self-evaluation. And there's also 5 separate planning documents you need to complete before you do a lesson. You have your handout that you send your learners, your PowerPoint slides that you present during your lesson. You have your colour page with your aims and your anticipated problems, your language analysis sheet, and your stage-by-stage breakdown of your lesson. And this is where it takes a lot of time to plan and prepare your lessons. Can I fail to CELTA? Of course you can. If you don't do the work, how do you expect to pass? But my advice would be to manage your time. Stay on top of your assignments and just do all your lesson planning as soon as you can. Don't leave it to the last minute, you will regret this later. And it might sound impossible due to the workload, but also take the time off for yourself to relax and unwind. Is the CELTA right for me? Well, if you're not afraid of never-ending hard work, then yeah. And if you want hands-on teaching experience, then yes. But consider why you want to teach and where you want to go. Like I said, the CELTA qualification carries a lot of weight when you're applying to schools. And if you're hoping to freelance online, like I am, it can give you serious legitimacy. Plus, it's great fun. Over the last month, I got to know my colleagues really well and became really good friends. Any last words of advice? If you're doing an online course, then invest in a proper chair with good back support, because you'll be sitting down for most of the day. And speaking of that, practice good posture, because your upper back will really thank you afterwards.